Well, hello people, and welcome back to another episode of City Showcase. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we are looking at the city of Scania by Oscar, which answers the question, what happens when a civil engineer takes a city's skyline city to 201,000 population on the Murky Coast map? One of my favourites, of course. We built Palaven here many years ago. Don't forget, if you want to have your city feature in the next episode of City Showcase, fill out a link to the Google form in the video description. And the city is absolutely bloody massive, so let's take a tour around this 81 tile modded official asset Murky Coast build, shall we? So let's get a grander perspective here with Murky Coast. So of course Palaven only filled 25 tiles, so we'll see a lot of builds today in the outline areas of the map, and that Palaven never received. So it's going to be really interesting. I think there's only one place to start this city showcase from, and this is the starting interchange, which has been changed into a nice little handy slip railing system. There is some trees in the road, but that just looks like it'll be a tree anarchy setting, I imagine, that's not carried over. But otherwise, here is the start. I'm going to refer to this map a lot as Palaven, I think. But this is really wonderful, so let's take a look at the start over here. Rail yard, really nice. This is a great quality of life rail yard. So there have been mods been used here. Move it, Know It multi-tool, intersection marking tool, kind of the major mods that most people play with are present here. Anarchy, etc. A bit of train traffic coming through, but it's kind of expected really with CS trains most of the time, isn't it? They're just waiting to come in. Here's an extremely busy station with a nice little bit of elevated pathway infrastructure. So he's taken it in a totally different direction. This huge park space here that's been left where we had a lot of the start of our city here. So I think what I'd like to do is follow the progression that Palaven made. So we'll kind of go the way I built Palaven, I think, and explore the city and just see how it differed. The big industrial district on the left over here, nice little park centre in there as well. Love to see some park space near Industrial Evolution. Love this stuff, especially when it gets to its high levels. Great zoning, isn't it? This thing comes all the way down here where we have a little prison. And we can see some absolutely beautiful bridge infrastructure. So you can see the civil engineering coming through here, right? That perfectly stacked. Love to see it. It's very Teddy Radko, this, isn't it? Kind of major engineered bridge infrastructure for that. That's so nice. I love that. Bit of a water drop off. I'm not sure the waterways police will be quite happy with the civil engineers, but the risk we all take every day, isn't it? Well, look at that, isn't that beautiful? This would have looked so good on Imperator's Interchange, though, of course, that was built in Palaven. Really love this big network coming across the river there. Fantastic design, really love that. We're coming into the downtown already here, so let's save that, shall we? Because that is the last bit of Palaven I built over there, so we'll get there towards the end. A nice little green city suburb here where we can see some public transit kicking in for the first time. I'd like to have a look at some of this. We've got Metro Gardens over here. Decent ridership, stations are nice and busy. Let's get a grander public transport overview here. So pretty much 11 to 12,000 moving through the public transport, which is nice. So some decent metro ridership here. Coming up to a wonderful little use of seaside resorts that tethers onto a European district here. This almost looks like kind of a little fort, doesn't it? Some kind of like old historical installation sat on the hill like that. That's a very tasteful use of seaside resorts, so I really like that, how you've moved them all together. I guess kind of one continuous building is the theme here, right? Very nice. Really like seaside resorts like that. A nice bit of European zoning in here as well. And then we also have just some general suburb stuff over this way. Nice football pitches, of course. This is where we had our arterial went straight across the river here. But he then veers off over to the left. Where we had our university, of course, our whole start of Palaven is just park space here in Scania. And yeah, we just go into some nice zoning up this way. You can really see the engineering, can't you? Look at those layers. I was really interested to see how this city was going to look when he mentioned that he was a civil engineer, and you can absolutely tell, can't you? Just the way this has all been designed and the infrastructure. Love a bush-lined pathway. Yeah, really, really sweet. Love that. Node controller kicking in there as well. You'd love to see that, don't you? Really nice, and even a little metro rail yard down here as well, which is sweet. What is this bridge building? It's like a bridge building site. Oh my god, look at that. Isn't that brilliant? That is absolutely fantastic. I adore that. Brilliant. Absolutely awesome. What a great way to just do something different with your road networks, you know? Use the roads to detail. Absolutely magnificent. Really nice. And then, of course, Canalvin does not exist here. And just some nice nature reserve stuff. Up to the ruins that are here as well, because we had campsites around here, didn't we? Very cool. And then swinging back into this main town centre, we've got a nice central pedestrian district with town hall. Always love to see that. Very nice bit of a municipal centrepiece for the town. Commercial strip with buses coming up and down here as well. Do we dare dabble in some bus action? I think we will. Also, the assets have been pretty sensibly chosen here too. There's only the occasional illegal asset, but it's fine. We can use it. Maybe we should have a challenge build actually of using only this building. See what people can do with it. By far one of the worst. But otherwise this comes through here into more park space. Well, really this whole area for us was university, wasn't it? We had a lot of infrastructure around here, but for this we're playing with some European mixed zoning mixed with the low density, which is a hard vibe to pull off, I'll admit that one. This European stuff, it has to be plopped, I think, a lot of the time when it's not zoned in perfect grids. Otherwise it can end up a little bit janky, I think. But either way, the roads are nice and happy around here. What's our traffic flow as well? Let's have a look at that. 74%, which isn't bad at all for nearly 200,000 people. So let's gravitate back toward this metro line and we'll kind of flow through here and enjoy lots of green. But I love that the cycling pathways following the metro. That's such a nice bit of infrastructure, isn't it? Definitely civil engineering. Little one across the road as well. Loving the layers in the build, Oscar. Absolutely fantastic, my friend. Yeah, we come into a green cities district here out of this rolling outer lying suburbia where we're definitely coming into kind of like the countryside of the map, I think, for Murky Coast. Extremely busy rail lines, look at that. Constant, isn't it? Just pure train traffic. Very cool. Over here, we have a bit of commercial infrastructure with some parking, nice pathways, absolute node killers. Use about 82% of the nodes, I think, which isn't bad at all. But with node controller and intersection marking tool present, you will save several thousand nodes, so that's probably helping a lot, I think. That as well, that interchange. Really nicely graded, isn't it? Everything's, again, I guess maybe he's using the mods to help with this, but god, it's all perfect, isn't it? Look at that. all the police are going to be good today. The highway police, train police, metro police, path police, everyone's going to be happy with Scania, I think. Like, switches onto an embankment here where we run into some of the high-tech buildings. The medical laboratory there as well. I love that asset from the high-tech pack. And then a bit of service admin, some recycling centres, and a bit of a wider office park before where we came into the rural areas of Palaven out here, and it's definitely maintained rural as some of his apple orchards burned down. I love how you've used the vanilla fields here. You've made that look authentically large, which is quite hard to do with the vanilla fields because they're so small and boxy. But that's very convincing. That's actually really inspiring. By using some farmland like that, great stuff. This then comes into big old mega mining industry, which looks fantastic. He's on the back-to-back rotary kilns. Definitely going for the larger asset there, right? I'd love to see it. Love it. Lots of repeated storage, which is such an important vibe for these industries, isn't it? You know, just piles of sand and dirt is just what you see. So using the assets to achieve that. And then I love how he's used the ground texture here to indicate mining. Active cranes all piled up digging out this particular hill. And then just mining wasteland that's left behind from such pollutive industrial operation, you know. But none of us would be watching this video without these industrial strip mines. I think there's a lesson in there for us all, isn't there? Beyond that, the build is absolutely lovely. Nice big chunky assets all positioned. Love to see this. Yes, please. Very creative. I love seeing like transformer infrastructure when it's not needed in CS. Is in workers and resources, but not in CS. But this is really cool. I really like how you've used that. A great industrial complex, really sweet. It peels back into a little town here, the other side of the highway from where we just were, which again has a little town centre design on it, park space, commercial strips, with lots of outer lying suburbia. Very nice. Tree-lined streets and paths all present through this, looking across a pretty low-rise murky coast. The Downtown's definitely over here. And then beyond this, we kind of leave the edge of the map over this way. There's nothing down that way. And then coming back to the high-tech part before, we have some more nice suburb designs. I love the mass repeated pictures, some kind of like big sports centre here. I really need to use the Australian football one a little bit more. I always forget about that one. And then this unique building sits with Metro on the waterfront. Nice parking designs there too. Very cute. Like that in vanilla. It's always nice to see like vanilla asset builds as well. I know the workshop is so good, but when people just use like officially released assets in so many different ways, I always find it significantly more inspiring. I really like how he's used them all here. Love this little bus metro terminal near the school. Another little metro rail yard is very cute. I like how you're ending your metro lines here. Very tasteful. But yeah, I love this. I love how you use the densely packed flowers in there too. That's really nice. I don't usually go that heavy, but when it is that in, it is very nice, isn't it? Lovely bits of green belt in there as well. A bit more European zoning on Pedestrian Street. And then we also got some real nice designs down this waterfront here, haven't we? Let's check this out. So coming down from this one, we follow the metro. It's this really nice pedestrian, just lots of decals, which is very nice to see. And so a little custom plaza for that. Isn't that awesome? So he's just expanded the park there, hasn't he? Really creative use of the park space, that. Very nice. Look at that again. European zoning on Pedestrian Street. Oscar is a big fan of it. And then we come into some more town centre designs over here. Some smaller parking spaces within the park, ponds, schools, and some more really nice parking designs actually. I really like how you're using the paths in the parks here. And then that rounds out this landmass, bit of death care at the head of the land. And then we've got a little country national road here that's joining on the highway outside connection down there. Simple rural slip lanes again, just perfectly graded with a hint, you know, a tasteful touch of node controller present in there as well, right? A few more trees on the road over here. There is, the city was listed with extended manager's library, so I'm guessing it's not been handed over from that update change. So it's probably some new tree anarchy mod settings not carried over, so please do ignore the trees in the road. Of course, not intended. Down the highway here, we have a trumpet interchange cutting through the mountain mass, where we run into another town, some highway ruins over here as well. And now our highway, I'm trying to remember how Palawan formed. Didn't it come around this peninsula and we had Metro following it this way, I think? Been a long time since I've seen Palawan now. I'm pretty sure that's how we had it, but over here it actually splits, then joins back to the city over here to the interchange we looked at with the perfect grading. That's where that's connecting back. So following this new town, we have the mountain road coming down where there is infrastructure up here, where we're up this way. Oh, yes there is infrastructure up here. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Again, for like vanilla official assets, or I guess no custom assets is the way to say it, because if I say vanilla, the DLC please will come for me. But this is amazing, isn't it? Look at that. That's just so nice. Incredibly inspiring again. This has totally changed how I can think of using vanilla assets for an estate like that. Oh, look at that view as well. My word. My word. That is gorgeous, Oscar. Absolutely fantastic. Look at this. The landscape in here is brilliant. Thoroughly in love, everyone. That as well. Oh, yes, please. Nature reserve props and industry props together. Next to the extremely traumatized Tapias. Even there, just in awe of the build. That's what I'm like right now. Just wide-eyed. Thoroughly enjoying this build. Nice gazebos through here and then the castle wall. Just to box it all off. Or even the little pond tucked in. Oh my word. Everywhere you look, there's just more detail. A little well through here. Brilliant, Oscar. An actual round of applause from me. This is amazing. Little planters in there as well. Chessboard. Probably the best official park, or official asset park I've probably ever seen. Absolutely fantastic. Gazebos in there as well. Not gazebos, the vegetable gardens. Horse riding stable at the front, just great use of the paths, the tree patterns, the statues. Simply gorgeous. I've really loved that build. Does it have a name? Manor Gardens, of course. What else? It's just a park area, right? Brilliant. I could make an hour-long video just on that build alone. Absolutely gorgeous. Extremely inspiring. Really, really nice, Oscar. Another natural pond up here in the mountains as well. I'm pretty sure this is added. I don't remember this being here on Murky Chaos. But, and then a mountain road. That snakes back down into a little farming town over here. Great use of the gradient here with the vanilla fields. I love doing this. Looks like you've got some farm and then crop trees in as well. So mock fields and functional. Very nice to see. And this really fills the hillside, doesn't it? Love to see that. Some lighter, more rich, luxurious residential on the riverfront here by the looks of it. Before we arrive into the next major bit of infrastructure, which is where we'll go. And then where do we go here? Let's finish this peninsula and then we'll go down toward where my airport was and see what's over there. Another great interchange over here. More wonderful metro layering. Absolutely wonderful. Looks like a little bit of a beach resort here. Very nice indeed. He's used the 1x1 European suburbia houses as little beach huts. That's very cute. I like that. Swimming pool as well. Guess maybe these supposed to maybe function like apartments if they're this close to the beachfront. Guessing so. These very much look like beach huts. I am making an assumption there, but it looks very nice regardless. Great use of beach props too. Before we arrive on the other side of that bridge, highway bridge design we were looking at earlier. I'd actually be really interested just to see how much traffic would take this connection if you actually completed it. A really interesting experiment, that, wouldn't it? You'd have to let us know, Oscar, if you ever connected that and what happened with it. Yeah, so over here, yeah, it's coming around the peninsula. Some European suburbia here, just more cute parkland space. It's interesting, is it? Because this is where a lot of my high density was from Murky Coast. How someone else has, I think that's why I always kind of get a bit giddy about maps I built on, just to see how someone else's mind took the build in a different direction. I always love seeing that for some reason. I hope you do as well, for those that have watched my builds. Lots more big field action, which I'm really enjoying. In kind of Vanilla Plus, actually. I need to use more of these larger fields in conjunction like this to make larger sports centres. Maybe an upcoming build in Rannoch in the not too distant future. And then we have this wonderful shopping mall. Look at that. Oh, my word. That's such a nice configuration. That's real, like, mega mall vibes, isn't it? Lots of different big box retailers around the car park. I usually tend to space these assets all out across the city, but seeing them all together like that is a wonderful execution of them. Really, really nice. Super cute. Love the orientation of every building as well. All the malls together. Lovely. Great build, that. Super nice. All fenced and airport aproned off as well. You'd love to see it. The mirror next to a big important intersection. Oh, look at that. Look at that framing with the metro. Isn't that fun? Seeing that go under the intersection like that. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, and then we stumble across this. I love a centralized design. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. He's doubled up the Korean food market. Big centralized glass plaza design. With the buses coming and going here. Simply gorgeous. These are really busy as well, aren't they? These food markets. He's actually quadrupled those assets then. Plaza at the bottom there. Before we come into more European zoning, where this metro flows down. We have missed a metro station there as well. We'll hop back and make sure we're not missing anything important here. We are. Some nice fountain planter detailing. Lovely stuff. Love to see that. Simply brilliant. I'm absolutely loving Scania. What a wonderful build. Absolutely wonderful. Look at that little stage, little bandstand performance venue just out in the open here in the zoning. Love that. Great use of the mountain resort assets. And all the open air malls are present here too. Which is really nice to see. Oh, I love this whole area here. The park around the mirror is very, very, very nice. Also got the Dosen shopping centre here too, with a nice use of the Japanese car parks. And then Greenbelt flows down the river to what looks to be a massive nuclear centre. We'll get over there in a second as well. We got another metro stop down this way on the edge of this peninsula. Which of course, which is where downtown Palawan was from here, wasn't it? But much more suburban here for Scania. And then really cute dirt track there. I love that. That's really nice. Reminds me a lot of the Candy's build in Orchid Bay. Really, really nice. Look at those. He's used the sub buildings from the farm DLC there for just dirt track admin. He's even got the billboards in too. That's bloody cool. That's really, really nice. Super sweet. And then he's used node controller here as well to get these what's it called? Is it camber? Is it? I think it cambers up like that. I can't remember the exact technical term. Yeah, I'm sure the racing police will inform us. Banking, it's where it banks, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It kind of banks on the angle like that. Great use of node controller, very creative. And then the appropriate unique buildings, the traffic park out here. Really, really, really cute build, I love that. And then we have another wonderful, just tasteful park space. There's little cafe spaces designated over here. And just absolutely supreme. With a mega walking infrastructure. Path over here. I guess this is the boats under, I suppose, is it? It is, yeah. But it's very busy. A cable car, I think, would have been good here. I think we had one in Palawan, didn't we? We had a few cable cars passing the river. But yeah, I think just to let the boats through, right? But nice busy walking pathways regardless. It drops down the other side, which is something we'll pick up later on. I think before that, we'll head back down the peninsula. To pick up a park I've noticed on the hill, which has some wonderful viewpoints, it looks like. Excellent use of these hedges, I'm noticing these a lot, they're very good. Then we have more of this wonderful, tasteful part detailing. It's so nice to keep stumbling across so many props. And then of course we have what is hopefully the best view in the city as we approach the tip of the hill here. So a wonderful skyline view. Very organic that, isn't it? Seeing across to the castle. Sorry, not the castle, the mountain over there where the castle was. Yeah, very, very cool. Love that European market building over here too. Metro next door to that before we see more European zoning. With pedestrian street, which Oscar is a big fan of, isn't he? We keep seeing the European zoning on pedestrian street. It's very nice, actually. I guess it really does function as a bit of mixed use for CS1, doesn't it? The zoning when you're down on the street level like this does look like CS2 mixed zoning, doesn't it? So I suppose it's very nice to use in that regard if you're going to kind of ignore the issues that come with it with zoning. But yeah, love it anyway. Regardless, super nice little European area. Before we pick up into this metro line that looks like it's heading straight into what looks to be a pretty significant nuclear facility. As we continue to pass over, there's so much wonderful green and park space everywhere, right? Love how you're blending these areas in. It's very, very nice. But yeah, let's head this. So we're coming into this big, oh look at that. With the, I always forget the name of this asset. Jangbasoft RD Center. Isn't that gorgeous? Such a cool centralized design that. You could have taken it through the middle. I've always wanted to see that. But we never did it in Thessia. I've always wanted to see like a monorail go through it or something. But nonetheless, that is absolutely fantastic. I really love the centralized design there. And then we come into this build, which is something unique, of course. The Nokija factory station. I'm not sure what it's going to be producing. But it's a really, really cool complex, isn't it? Soft paper factory, nuclear plants, modular house factory, I think that one is, isn't it? Was that the lemonade? Might be the lemonade, this one. With industrial evolution, warehouses, high-tech buildings. We've also got the mega monument recycling centre in here as well. So what's functioning as a massive bit of service industry for his city over here. Very nice node-controlled roundabouts again, yes please. Love to see it. Love to see it. Really, really nice, unique build there. Big kind of special factory district with a wonderful interchange. That's getting some very nice ridership indeed. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? I guess dog bone set up here, I think. Dog bone dumbbell, I suppose, whatever you want to call it. Over here we have some more industry. Looks like mining industry with industrial evolution. More metro plazas out the front here. Heavily repeated asset repetitions here. With metro coming in with pathways out the back. You'll see that as well. Very nice. See another metro line coming in here too. Let's get a sense of the walkability here, shall we, with a train arriving. Let's see where people are going. Coming out the front, it looks like. Just gorgeous. Everywhere you look, isn't there's just busy ridership or wonderful prop work. I love the waterways around here, actually. Very Florida, very Phoenix, isn't it? Very Gold Coast. All these kind of watery suburbs we've seen across the world during our time exploring city skylines. Beautiful interchange. Really love that. It's almost like a kind of a three-way turbine, isn't it? I guess is the setup there. It's really, really nice. Brilliant, brilliant interchange work. And the civil engineer is is present, isn't it, right? This is what I call civil engineering. Really, really cool just to see a perspective of what is very clearly a professional in his field. Absolutely brilliant. Another massive mining quarry here as well. Great use of these single-zoned assets. Are these props or zones? Zones, the 1x1s. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Love to see it. And of course it's all tiered and stunk down here as well, isn't it? Just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. I'm so proud of this build myself, right? So we're into the 81 tile areas of Murky Coast now. Sullivan was only over 25 tiles. Which is crazy that we managed to hit the node count in 25 tiles when you think about it, isn't it? Too much fencing. But as we come into this town, we do arrive at a massive, wonderful interchange that is a little bit busy. With mostly buses for some reason. Where does this go? Yeah, it's just the traffic light slowing things down, isn't it? So, kind of it's an artificial traffic light, cause traffic jam, if you like, I suppose. You could probably do some time traffic light stuff here with Traffic Manager if you want to get into the nitty-gritty of it, I believe. But yeah, let's get a bit of a grander perspective here. So this is a significant town, all centralised around the courthouse, which is an asset I feel like we haven't used for quite a long time. Probably since Bavaria, we haven't used this, I think. But it's a really nice asset, and yeah, more European zoning on pedestrian roads. Let's get a sense of the plaza-age, if you like, while we're down here. Oh, look at that. Great emergence that, isn't it, out into the plaza. Reminds me a lot, actually, of that plaza we went to together in Helsinki in the travel vlog from Finland last year, if you remember. You can find that on the channel if you haven't seen our Finnish travel vlog. It was an awful lot of fun. Go ahead and check it out if you haven't seen it. And then we have lots more repeated pitch assets over here as well. Really, really love this aesthetic. Some high rises through here. Office spaces, commercial. Lots of fun. See, this is where like European zoning zoned really irritates me unless it's not on a grid. I hate having this in my city centres. That's why I'm so selective with my European zoning, you know. It has to be used, I think, in specific ways, unless you're going to use plot the grow balls and then you can fuse your own blocks. So it sits so much nicely in that configuration, doesn't it? Just simply the way the assets have been designed. But yeah, very nice regardless. Nice little bus. Pedestrian path coming through here, dropping people off right at the courthouse steps. Love to see that. And then we've got lots of European suburbia outer line zoning up here. There's yet more park spaces. He's got a lot of really fun, just open air park spaces around the city that I keep running into that I'm a big fan of. Love the school campus here. Great inclusion of the library with the pathways there. Very clever. I love the library as a school campus asset. I'll have to remember to use that a bit more often, actually. Often neglect the library asset. And then there's a little elementary school over here as well with some parks in the grounds, which is very, very cute. Little lake over here with lots of overgrowth and even some logs. Love to see it. The really highly detailed city. He's used so many of the kind of official props in the build. I really love to see that. So much care and attention has gone into so many small spaces. You know, there's probably so much we'll miss as well, you know. To explore every nook and cranny of a city is just pretty much impossible, but keep stumbling across them. Like, it's just gorgeous with this. Great use of service points here. Integrated into the city as just, you know, commercial admin, storage, etc. Very nice. Very nice use actually of the service points there, how they fill that triangle. Isn't that good? Brilliant, Oscar. Absolutely brilliant. We see the king of malls down here next to some hotels. Lots of concrete open space by the river with some quays. And then also walkable quays as well, because this is going somewhere, is it? Loops back over here, which is taking us a different direction. We'll leave the city that way. But nice big mall front over here. Always a nice kind of asset to orientate against major networks, isn't it? Feels like you're driving past something really big and important. Love doing stuff like this. Rannoch Mall is one of my favourite uses of it, how it sits next to the highway. I always love factoring things like that in. More wonderful detailed park spaces with use of green cities zoning in there as well. That's very nice, isn't it? Just so good. You know, Oscar, this could be... I know we had a video go up a few weeks ago in City Showcase where I was saying like this is the best city we've had so far. I think that Scania may very well be taking this title thus far, I think. It's really incredible. Leaving the town over the bridge here, which we totally glossed over that by the way. He's used the American Trust Bridge there, which is very nice from the Content Creator Pack. And then this goes all the way off and down here into an outside connection with another little rail yard. Before we head through some national road infrastructure into a super, super busy industry, this is definitely where your traffic score will be coming down, won't it? Was it 74, I think, was it? 73, yeah, this is definitely the hot point, isn't it? You even got the one-way roads in action here as well. I think it is just traffic lights, isn't it? It's traffic lights that are holding things up and people waiting to turn right into these airport hubs over here. Yeah, this one's super busy, isn't it? Like crazy, crazy busy. With a lot of export for this side of the city, but I guess maybe so close to the forestry over here. That's probably also making it extra busy as well, isn't it? This forestry plantation really runs all across the fields here. It's blended it in with natural forest as well, so you can hardly even identify the tree plantations, can you? Just looks like natural functioning forestry, very cool. With some of the eco water treatment assets here, which looks really nice in a forestry build actually. It almost makes it look like kind of a biomass centre, doesn't it? Like the forestry plant's actually working with some kind of biomass fuel. I really like that. Again, super inspiring. I'll definitely include some kind of biomass processing in my next forestry build, I think. Absolutely awesome. The vanilla zoning present here as well, which is so important for industry. Really is. It helps keep your production chains balanced and whatnot without relying on too many inputs. It then brings us across this big, chunky industrial highway bridge with the girders, which I absolutely love. This comes back to that interchange we saw earlier. And the big factory complex, which has a wonderful kind of rising up here, doesn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Then you have big industrial highways from under the mountain. And then layer over with some really cool stuff, even some custom pillar work here it looks like too. Very nice. Trains heading into what looks like another massive industrial build with a huge abandoned factory complex that does indeed have some functional industry around it. One of the more creative uses of industrial evolution I've ever seen there. Really love that. Great use blending them into the abandoned factory. There's some really, really mental rail work. Look at all this. Yes, please, everyone. Look at that for a little vanilla rail yard, right? And it's functional. We've got trains passing through it as well, which makes it even better. It's super nice. Very clever. Really like that. Industrial evolution over here next to some wall-to-wall plaza action again going on here. More detailing in these little town square centres. Love to see it. More park space. Another metro stop that has the rail yard station coming underneath it. Actually, that's a real civil engineered infrastructure bit there, isn't it? Really like that. Oh, the metro layers over, road goes under, rail goes under as well. Just so cool. So cool. Absolutely love it. More little Bits of detail over here again as well. Great use of the mountain resort assets. Really nice. Love to see these. I haven't really used these too much myself recently. That's super cool. Super cool. This then drops us off at a trumpet interchange that comes back into this area. Then there's another trumpet interchange further down. And there's some more slip ramps over here. As we begin to arrive kind of into the main bits of the map over here, which I do want to save till last, so we'll cut off at this roundabout. But lots more rail infrastructure going through here. Connecting into a cargo station, some more mall action over here as well, which is all graded as well. We can see we're coming downhill here, look at that. Again, it all looks pretty good, doesn't it? Really, really sweet. I love the pathway between the shopping mall assets there. Especially down the hill. Tasteful. Absolutely tasteful. I love it. Really good. They're having more school campuses tucked into European suburbia out this way. I think the same thing again over here. More really nice little park designs to stumble across. All going uphill as well. I love this. What is this? It's like a... Is this like a turbine roundabout? I think it is, isn't it? That's so cool. I don't think I've ever seen that, ever, in Cities Skylines, in my 3,500 hours in the game, and the many more thousands of hours of CS content that I've watched since 2015. Never ever seen this. And that's why I love Cities Skylines, right? Isn't that cool? I'm going to steal this, 100%. This will work in Absolute Vanilla as well, you could do this quite easily. Probably a little bit wider, but you could still do it. Brilliant. Really, really cool way to use a roundabout. Some unique building configurations over here. We've got the Science Centre, one of the towers. And then a nice busy metro station. In here again as well, and I have seen the use of the Metro Plaza, so we'll check out the ridership on that as well. Which will be very cool. This bridge drops us back over at the dirt racing track we arrived at earlier. With again more wonderful grades. Nice little kind of bump in the bridge there. Use Move It to perfectly grade it. Just awesome. So good. Then that comes back down into the Mirror Centre and major intersection that we saw over here. Which again, look at that. Isn't that so realistic? I love that you've actually got a bit of traffic just arriving here. It just shows it's a busy intersection and they have to wait at the lights and then you see them rush. Isn't that gorgeous? Just things you can watch all day, right? Love Cities Skylines. It's just absolutely fantastic. What a game and what a build, everyone. What a build. The Train Police HQ is here, of course. On the other side of the roundabout where we can see a couplet develop off into the downtown. Very excited to see that. Look at that rail in there as well. Oh, that exciting. We'll save that. We'll get to the CBD last. Let's head over here because I know the international airport is very clearly down here. It has its own little custom interchange here. Very similar to the modular build intersection here. That I know a lot of people have found very useful, so I don't know if this is from that video, Oscar, but if it is, I'm glad it's working well for you. It's a pretty similar setup to what we had there. And then look at this. Look at this airport. Oh my word. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh my god. Oh my goodness gracious, everyone. That is possibly one of the coolest terminal configurations I have ever seen. That is awesome. And he has Scania written. That's absolutely just brilliant, Oscar. Absolutely. Another round of applause. That's two. That's two this episode. I love it. Look at that. That's so cool. Absolutely just brilliant. Thoroughly smiling, Oscar. You've absolutely made my morning, buddy. I love it. Got the metro station here, or the train station rather. A lot of overgrowth. I don't know. Not sure why. Is it dead? Is it not an active connection? There are people waiting here. I'm not sure why that's there. But regardless, it's still the glass roofs have thoroughly taken my breath away. Just left me speechless. Beyond the incredible terminal configuration, plenty of parking and hotels, please. More hotels, and then we have some great admin over here. Carports is like long stay car parking. I love it. Absolutely love it. Helicopter infrastructure over here, which is all very nice. Airport museum as well. And then we have the aviation club, which has been airport aproned into the wider airport. Absolutely amazing. Look at that. And then lots of planes lined up with hangars. The airfield is brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And then he's got the cargo airport integrated in here as well, one of which is burnt down and somehow managed to generate steel rebar from burning concrete. It's fine though. But look at that. Isn't that just fantastic? I love the runway designs. Simply brilliant. Big factory in here as well with cargo airport, and seeing the train pass through the airport like this, both passenger and cargo, is just absolutely brilliant, Oscar. Really, really, really good. Again, one of the best airport DLC airports I've probably seen. That's up there with some of like Imperator's work for incredible airport configurations. Seriously, seriously cool, Oscar. Very, very nice, my friend. Bloody love that. Absolutely fantastic. And it is Scania International. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So that ties off this area of the map. We've not missed anything else out here, I don't believe. You never know what you're going to stumble across. This map with smaller outer line builds. There is one up here, actually. I think there's just an extension of the mining industry. It is, isn't it? Yeah. So then, beyond this, I'd like to return to, I think, the starting interchange now, because there's stuff over here we haven't seen. And then we'll loop and explore this big lump of a CBD to round out the showcase. And so returning to the other side of the starting interchange where we started the video, we have a really nice stadium configuration there. I love how you've let the path follow the circle of the stadium. Which you would need Anarchy, I think, to do that, because otherwise it would clash with the pathways. But I guess you could just widen the ring in true vanilla, I suppose. But regardless, gorgeous, isn't it? Great positioning of a stadium. Just there off the highway, you can just see it through the tree line, can't you? And then there's some really nice pedestrianisation and car parking through the middle of that. I really like that. Reminds me a lot of Phoenix's grounds, that, seeing the big pedestrian walkways cutting through huge car parking spaces. I guess pretty much any stadium district in the world, right? That's bloody gorgeous. I really like that. Some food courts out the front of the stadium there too. You've got a great eye for pedestrian road, Oscar. I'll give you that, my friend. Really, really good. Pedestrian road bridge. Yes, please. That comes down into a really nice wall-to-wall office district. Look at that curve on the buildings. And then it merges into some more plaza space. With some service industry in here as well before we arrive at some pretty significant infrastructure workings. Look at all that. Isn't that brilliant? Train layers. Yes, please. With road layers. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. So well scaled as well. You know, nothing's unbelievable, I think I've found here. You can, again, it's come back to the whole title of the video, isn't it? This is what a civil engineered city looks like at 201,000 population. Brilliant. Stunning. Love this. Look at that. He's got the delivery vans out here as vehicle props. Why have I never done that before for the back of a supermarket? That's so clever. That's so clever. Great prop detailing. Bit more of a wider mall space through here too. Not sure if I'm missing something here. There was nothing on the loading screen report, so I'm not entirely sure what that is. But look at that. Great roundabout detailing. Going back to this bridge over here. And then this will drop us into this big sprawling town that's all shaped around these dual train lines coming in. Lots of green cities. Outer lying suburbia here. We've got pathways. Nice park space again. Really like how you've integrated so many parks into the city. Library and high school configuration again working really nicely. This has to be intersection marking tool fence, doesn't it? It's not. It's not. It's real fence. Absolute node killer. Absolute node killer, that one, isn't it? 4 parallel networks for that distance. Surprised you've only got 82% use. Brilliant, yeah, look at this. Pedestrian pathway up and over. Linking people aside, a wonderful green cities kind of apartment flat development here. With alternating assets. Levels 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, I think is going on there, right? Very clever. Really nice. More Plaza Green Cities Park. Town centre configurations. I love all this sort of stuff. So inspiring this, because essentially there's just endless combinations you can do with this, isn't there? So it's sort of like open green spaces with all the assets the game has these days. Very nice, and possibly more to come as well. Who knows? After Mountain Resorts, we I think more Cities 1 DLC isn't out of the question, is it? And look at this as well, look at that. That's such a cool use of the pathway there to feed it through that top layer of the station. Oh, it even meets with the stairs as well. Oscar, goodness me, stealing my heart. I love that that was even factored in. This is that brilliant. No, just absolutely fantastic. Look at this as well. Just another little gorgeous park space to fill an awkward area. Bit of an airport apron at the top, some bush lining and some benches. Just I'm running out of superlatives, you know, to just describe exactly what it is I'm seeing. This whole Green Cities district then flows out into some abandoned factory spaces. I'm not sure if this is intended abandonment. Could be when there's so many of it. Why did you leave? Too few services. Too few services. Yeah, all the same. Okay. I'm not sure. Are we having any major issues? There seems to be some goods issues, but that might just be resource collection maybe. Or delayed. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's Royal Forestry product there. Whatever. It's city simulation, isn't it? But regardless, look at all this. Another forestry district takes over. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? That's just so well put together. Reminds me very much of, like, it's got an air, like a hint of Teddy Radko about this, hasn't it? It looks very Teddy, this kind of stuff. Don't know why. Watched a lot of Teddy's Millau. Very good build, by the way, if you haven't seen it. But yeah, that's perfectly graded. Great. It's just such simple use of node control as well, you know. That's what I'm liking. It's not overly node controlled, if that makes sense. It's just tasteful actions where it's needed, which is what I'm really appreciating. I think sometimes, especially like me and Thessia, I always try to do these huge extravagant node controller projects, which can be really fun. But when it's everywhere, it becomes a little bit kind of overbearing. It's nice to see it just used a bit more tastefully here. A bit more restrained, I think is the word. Yeah, this comes down to a big export hub here. I love what you've done with the train against the port here. Very tasteful. He's got lots of import and export function for his city. And then this just peters off out into some wider service industry over here with the water stuff. And then that goes off into an outside connection. As does this road as well, funnily enough, which is fairly random, I suppose. This just linking back to another interchange here. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be getting much use at all, does it? Maybe it's not connected. But then we have more storage industry over here. Well, storage for the wood industry, I suppose. Again, all nice angled here. I love how he's used the terrain painters here just to generate kind of used dirt land within the industry. We saw that in the mining area too. And another little highway rest stop here, isn't that wonderful? Or like a little truck stop with all the truck props. Isn't that so creative? I absolutely love that. Just so cool. And then tasteful commercial around the edge of his highway rest stop. That brings us back to that interchange. Which we can then see a big design sunken tunnel. There's also national road infrastructure running up and down there as well to that factory. This merges out here with some more wonderful roundabout And then highway couplet details here as we come into some really interesting landscapes. Let's loop around this side. We have more wonderful plaza designs at the front of the metro. We're supposed to have something here maybe, or something plopped here that is no longer plopped, possibly. Looks like it might have been. Something maybe not carried over from there. I love the underground metro stop. Love how it immediately comes out of tunnel as well as it kind of merges into the earth. Very nice. More great use of pedestrian streets. There's details tucked into the street corners. Wall-to-wall zoning always welcome. Before that low density suburbia takes over. At the bottom of the mountain, then we have the national road that runs parallel with bike infrastructure. All the way down here. We run some light industry. Crosses into the downtown. We'll get over here at some point eventually. And then we come down into more outer lying suburbia. Again, you develop this island so differently to me. Considering I had the, of course, the castle atop the hill here. So it's very, very different to what I had. And this big pedestrianisation again up against the waterfront. Lots of wall-to-wall zoning around here. More of those high school library combos we've seen so often throughout Scania. And then over here, we have the aquarium with more elevated walking infrastructure. I love how you've done the pathways here. Very nice. Different layers all connecting back in, keeping people walking. On some old waterfront graveyards with metro that links all the way around here. With this, I really love this road network. The couplet system is always a favourite of mine. And yes, look at that as well. Spiraling. Spiraling zoo path. Love to see it. That's definitely been done with multi-tool, that hasn't it? You can tell the curvature of it. Perfect multi-tool action. You'd love to see it. And then a very busy amusement park that is heavily layered into the terrain here. Look at this. Look at this. Isn't that wonderful? So nice. Densely packed in. Transitioning different heights. Very cool. Really nice use of a waterfront there, isn't it? Does it have a name? Do we have a name for it? Niceland, I suppose. I guess it is a Niceland. Very nice. And then more of that tiered residential infrastructure with a bit of service industry tucked in there as well. So that is how he chose to develop these outer lying areas of the map. I would love to know if you're going to finish it to the node count, Oscar. If you're going to leave us a comment, my friend, if you could let us know if you are going to carry on building it, or this is the finished project now. But yeah, this then takes us, I guess, round into the major CBD area, which, where will we even start from? There's a lot to get involved in here. How about we cross over from the bridge and then we'll see where we go, shall we? So coming back to this wonderful bridge infrastructure we've seen, where we've got 2 train lines, a metro, 2 highways and cycling road. With the breakwater walls underneath them as extra support. Real engineered a bit of infrastructure. You know, it's not just 2 bridges across, is it? There's several engineered layers here. Absolutely love to see it. It's just so nice. Really, really cool. And then we cross over here. Let's follow. Oh god, where do we go? Where do we go? Down here, right? Let's go ahead to this this metro plaza. We wanted to check it out. Let's have a look. How busy it is. 992. Not the busiest ever. It isn't the busiest ever, that one. We have seen busier than that one, but I love the design that you've done with the long grass here and the road is. I've never seen that before either. That's such a... Oh, look at that. It spreads across the whole campus. Oh, and then centralizes with the pyramid of safety. The university main building. And the meteorite park and the museum. Wowzers. Trousers, Oscar. Actual jinkies. It's the only... You know a build's good when jinkies comes out. This is awesome. Look at this. Love this campus. First campus we've seen so far, actually, isn't it? Big, unique buildings factored into your downtown space here. I really like to see it. A little concert arena here. Oh, look at that. He's even grabbed the concert building, the sub-building. And then had this open-air concert festival arena. That's so cool. Really like that. There's so much landscape in here with the roads passing through this area. parallel pathways, lots of roadies. I'm gonna have to do this somewhere. I really love the dense roadie vibe you've created. I will absolutely be using this idea. At the School of Education, is it? It's not education, is it? Medicine, damn it. School of Medicine. Against the main road with a varsity building. Completes the campus on this side again. Look at the layering. Look at the thought into the design of the build. So nice. Great merging there of highway into regular road again as the bridge comes to a close. Great lane maths, just perfect. Oscar, it's so good. It's so good. Everywhere you look, it's just brilliant. This is great. This is the bridge that drops us over from the island we were at a moment ago. Well, there is some fishing industry here, actually. And then we also have really nice intersections graded underneath. Very, very tasteful. Let's head along this waterfront here. Lots more industrial evolution. The metro is switching underground and to overground here. Again, just look at how all the metro and the networks flow off into the distance together. Never feels awkward, does it? It's all like it's all really well planned. Love to see it. This is great. Look at this. That's a great use of that shopping mall asset there, actually. I really like how you've not made that kind of like a massive centerpiece. It's just snapped into the pedestrian roads and function as a little shopping mall with the fountain next to it. Very nice. Really like that. More metro stations here before it splits off and goes another direction. And then this looks as though it's bringing us down onto the waterfront where the aquarium is across the waterway there. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's really, really clever. Great use of those content creator keys to create the stairs. That's so good. Yeah, I've never seen those stair keys used like that to create like a staircase in vanilla. And of course it'll work as well, won't it? Because they're walkable keys. Yeah, you can see them moving down the stairs here. At least they did. Yeah, there you go. It's a bit janky. Boy, it works. Where do they even go? Are they disappearing? Oh no, they're coming out here. Okay. So it's not the perfect step-by-step stair, but it is functional stairs using official assets. And I love the little star design you went for. It's very cute. It's a really nice way to use the Memorial Plaza there. Very nice, just super cute waterfront park. Thoroughly in love. Now you have a marina here. Oh, what is that? That's an elevated Zoopath marina, isn't it? Oh my god. Oh my god. With all the official boat props as well. That is so cool. So cool. Oh, and he's even using the American walkway, which I never use. I always forget this exists because it doesn't have any lights on it, so I never really use it. But my god, is it used well here. Yeah, Seaside Resorts sub-building too. This is just so good, Oscar. Possibly the best official asset marina I think I've seen ever. But there's some of the larger boat props in here as well. You can get these with Find It, by the way. They're from the Hotels DLC, I believe, these boats. The small ones, obviously the boat hotel boat is, but yeah, you can get them with Find It. And then this spills into more just wonderful waterfront action. Perfect keys. Got the little marinas even set up there as well. The gangplanks onto the whale watching boats. Oscar, goodness me. This just comes into this lovely little breakwater. I love that. That's very nice. I love a breakwater with a lighthouse at the end. With wonderful views back to the skyline. What even awaits us in the downtown, everyone? Who knows? Can we just... Can this be every City Showcase video now? This is the standard to beat, everyone. This is the standard to beat. Oscar has, I think, taken the crown for the best work we've seen so far in this series. Very cool. I feel like we're missing some buildings here, unfortunately. I feel like this is not how this is supposed to look. Which is a bit of a shame. We do have plopped buildings in the city though, because I've seen some of these towers here I think have been plopped. So we do have plopping in the city. But I think maybe we're missing something here. which is a bit of a shame, but regardless, love the stairs down to the waterfront here. You have to be careful swimming here, wouldn't you? With the cruise liners so close. Imagine the waves would be pretty immense here. But a really cute beachfront next to this breakwater, hotels here as well with all the nightlife and the European zoning. That again is part of his downtown. Let's continue down the waterfront. Across from the Christmas market, we're arriving at hotels. We've got City Hall action here as well with some really nice centralised work there. Love to see that. Cargo terminal, 2 of them actually, not cargo, passenger terminal, sorry. With the sharpened node controlled keys as well. I really like seeing those sharper key edges. Very cool use of node control with that. With another wonderful park space, of course. What else in Oscar's awkward space? It's going to be beautiful parks, isn't it? And then here we arrive at his major international cargo harbour, which looks fantastic. We've got 3 cranes, a shipyard, lots of oil storage using the monorail as pipeline, which is such a timeless trick, isn't it? I really love doing this. Shout out to Jukaboa, is where I first saw this idea actually in one of his port builds. Really nice. Yeah, really cool infrastructure. Great oil refineries here. And it's just so nicely put together, isn't it? Lots of these big chunky assets next to each other, expanding their footprints, making them look like larger infrastructure. Pathways here, taking people back to the other side. Really, really cool. Absolutely love that. Love what he's done with these pipes as well. Isn't that clever? Great use of move it, that. Then we've even got fused factory buildings here as well. Isn't that awesome? Very nice. Going for the asset there. Isn't that, that's a really nice fusing, isn't it, actually? It works tremendously well with that vanilla asset. I'll have to remember that one. And then over here we have our recycling building, Japanese one, waste disposal unit I think it's called, isn't it? With lots of relevant cargo infrastructure, service industry here. That spills into outer line residential that then heads all the way up this hill into what I'm assuming is another outside connection. Yeah, there's actually a really distant country national road actually that heads back to the airport over here. It's not getting a lot of use though. It is very quiet, isn't it? You definitely seem to be preferring the highways. You could probably make these a bit busier if you give them an entry on the highway, just a little slip lane. Probably help them get a bit of use. I guess maybe it's maybe supposed to be kind of a unconnected kind of country backwater service road maybe. But it goes up the hills and far away anyway. Heading back into and out of the port, we arrive at the Peanut Ball Stadium, which sits really nicely tiered, doesn't it? Look at all these elevated pathways coming up and down it. We're met with insane overgrowth again for some reason, where we saw that in the airport. The overgrowth shouldn't really be on the map, so I'm guessing that was purposely placed. I'm not sure why, or maybe it's just an oversight maybe. But regardless, I love all the keys around the Peanut Ball. It really feels like it's kind of sunk down, doesn't it? Love that great view to the skyline again as well. Which we'll get stuck into why we're here. Let's just kind of get a bit of a grander perspective of the CBD. So let's go from this big centralized design. We have one of the government office buildings, lots of bushline pedestrian road. I love the design around the base of the observation tower. Very nice. This is all uphill as well, isn't it? Is this not? Yeah, it's not flat, is it? You can see here, we're building within the terrain here. Remember, this part of Murky Coast, if you remember, Palaven was super tiered. Like the terrain here is pretty mental. I'll put it up on the overlay. You can kind of see where we're starting from down here, and as you move across, it just keeps going up and up and up, and then it eventually rises kind of all the way back up here. It's a real harsh change. I'll try and showcase just how harsh it is. If we were to grab, say, this height over here, and then if you draw it near the shoreline, it's at its lowest. Once it totally flattens out, you can really see the difference. It climbs back up in quite a short space of time. Remember, I had quite a lot of difficulty with it in Palaven. It wasn't easy to build on. But let's get stuck into this, right? Look at that. Look how that crisscrosses over. Isn't that so cool? Absolutely love that. So symmetrical as well. Almost, I think it is, isn't it? Yeah. Perfectly aligned with that central plaza there. One of the nicest inner city green sort of park designs I think I've ever seen. And then of course he's managed to use the Glassbox metro station, which is my favourite station in the game. My Bad Peanuts pack. Simply brilliant. I absolutely love it. Let's have a look at the metro ridership here. See what we're getting in terms of usership. 1,822 through this. And then there's 3 inner city train lines. And then I'm guessing the rest will just be using for intercity service. Again, look how it merges out all the rail infrastructure in the inner city. Reminds me very much of sort of London Euston. I guess any sort of inner city major train station will have similar vibes, won't it? But really cool. Look at that. Isn't that just awesome to watch? So nice. I wish I'd have done something similar with Rannoch. Having the trains come into the inner city like this. But we took it a different way. Even got the railway museum in here as well. And in terms of his skyline, we're mostly made up of skyscraper creator pack assets. Very nice centralized designs, props out the front of the train station. Perfectly integrated elevated metro. And then this all just flows in and around the towers. There's yet more detailing to stumble across on the inner city as well. With these, they're supposed to be, I guess, goals. It's a really funny way of doing it. Very nice. Really funny. Or maybe like American football goals, maybe. Would be the vibe there. Some really nice green city developments, repeated patterns fused together with repeated assets here to make the full circles. And these kind of like alternated height blocks as well. I really like them. Great use of some inner city residential there. This brings us back to the campus we saw earlier where the School of Law and the Majesty are also here. They're all backed up against this huge train corridor that pierces through the middle of the city. That have to be said, this is where you can see the civil engineering, isn't it, in the rail work here. It feels very, just so well planned, so professional, doesn't it? So cool. I love all the layers. He's even narrowed the key there with node controller, which is such a cool trick. And then just look at that network corridor. Isn't it just fabulous? We'll definitely get this in the end cinematics. This will be stunning. Well, yeah, the train ride into the inner city is something to behold, I think. Absolutely love it. Heading out of the skyline, we drop down into this massive tiered transport hub, which is 2 metro stations meeting on 2 different layers with riverside parks. There's waterfalls that play around here as well. My goodness. My goodness. Just wowzers trousers, everyone. Wowzers trousers. We can pick up that couplet system we saw earlier, which is piercing through a lot of outer-lying low-density residential. And heads back up to the science centre we were at a moment ago. We also see the emergence of this train coming out of the downtown as well. A park that we saw the elevated walking pathway linked back up to as well. Love the abandoned ship in the park there. It's a cool feature. Almost looks like a kind of a kid's play park, doesn't it? You know how you kind of see pirate ships in like big parks sometimes for kids to play on. Kind of reminds me of that. And there is an actual pirate ship here as well. Very cool. And then this green belt comes under the bridges over this way that we're at the start of the city. Heading into this space just across from the campus and the train station where we have more really wonderful bus infrastructure. Nice little hospital campus here as well. Which I'm guessing those 4x4, I think they're commercial, aren't they? I think. No, they're office actually. Some of my favourite assets in the game, they fuse really nicely together to make a wider block. I really like them. But yeah, they've been used very nicely there as part of a wider hospital campus using the medical assets. Very tasteful. Ton of nodes used here, but it's worth it, isn't it? Beyond this, we have some more wall-to-wall that then joins up with that rail corridor through the middle of the city. And then we have this real kind of landscaped waterway here, don't we? With the metro networks, the key networks, sorry. And the roads going back into, that's such a cool area. Essentially like a custom canal, isn't it, really? Which is what that waterfall flows into down here. Where we can see more tiered and elevated park space running up through this way. People using the stairs to cross multiple layers. And then I think, you know, because we primarily play vanilla when we're using official assets, I feel like at some point I would really like kind of a modded official asset series, because it shows off the possibility with Anarchy and Move It and Node Control, doesn't it? You know, what you can do with the official assets. So I think maybe after Rannoch we'll do a modded official asset build, maybe. Let me know if you have appetite for that, because this city has just opened my eyes to so many cool designs and combinations of what you can put together here. I love this, the service and offices design here. It's fantastic. It seems to be having some random growth here. I'm not sure if this is as intended or if we're missing something here. But seems a little maybe underdeveloped for what it is supposed to be here. Looks like we're missing buildings where there should be, which is a bit of a shame. Not sure why they've not transitioned over in the save. And then over here, really nice pairing of towers, isn't it? Because these skyscraper assets kind of come in twos, one big and one small. He's kept a lot of them together. You can see the Leto electronics over there as well. And this one too. Yeah, he's done it for pretty much every tower, hasn't he? Which is a real interesting way to use them. And this one. Yeah, and this one, yeah. pretty much. For pretty much all of them, he's like duplicated up the towers, which... If I would have thought of doing that myself, I'd have said it would have looked a little bit weird, but it does work, doesn't it? It does work. He has the pairs all over the place. We got a nice big central bus design through here as well. We got a bus stop, or yes we do. He's got a BRT system. Yes please. Yes please to the BRT that comes down to the massive bus interchange that's also tied into his central station. Which is very nice. Getting lots of walkability back into there as well between the two methods. And this spills out into European zone where we haven't checked out this sunken highway, which only serves to just further improve what is already an absolutely incredible downtown infrastructure. Really, really sweet. Again, just so well planned, isn't it? These short little dinky slip ramps as well. Love them. And then more European zoning, with more centralized designs with the tax office and park space. That brings us back to kind of a cute little egg about there, really, isn't it? It's kind of like a hamburger interchange. I'm pretty sure like junction, I think it's 25 or 26 on the M6 has the UK's first ever hamburger intersection, if you're interested. Don't know why I know that. I've had too much time playing Cities Skylines, clearly. And then we have more open pitch infrastructure with the telecommunications radio mast in here as well. And then another unique building tucked in with wall to wall and lots of unique office space, making up one of the coolest downtowns I've ever seen. There's so much in there that's just endlessly inspiring. The central metro design there with the plaza and the pyramid, the whole waterfront with the marinas, the Star Park, the beach, the port, all of it. It's just absolutely insane. One of the best official assets Cities Skyline builds, even away from official assets actually. Just simply one of the best Cities Skylines 1 builds I've seen, period, regardless of mods or unmodded or custom assets or official assets. You know, however it is you choose to play. You can't deny the genius on show here. Oscar's civil engineering knowledge has clearly given him some kind of CS superpower. And it's been an absolute pleasure looking over Scania. Thank you so much for sending it in, Oscar. I think I can say this is the best we've had so far. That's been sent in. This is the standard to beat. Oscar is just, yeah, brilliant. Absolutely fantastic, mate. A pleasure to look around your city. Massive shout out to the patrons that support the channel with a roll call to our Golden Eggs, Louis Adlam, Andrew Perez, Oh Hey Casino, Phoenix MD, and Bad Wolfo. You are all heroes of the people, guys. If you want to get involved in that, links to Instant Gaming and Patreon, as always, best ways to support the channel, should you so wish. There's also a giveaway on Instant Gaming as well. And do you think you can better Oscar's work? Do you have a city that's better than this and you want us to showcase it? Then fill out the link to the Google form down below. I'm always so happy to see other people's cities. And especially if it's a map I've built on, I'm always really keen to see them as well. So those that have watched my series, do get them sent in if you have them lying around. There is still a fair backlog, so don't worry if we don't get to it immediately. I will eventually. But otherwise, please do enjoy some cinematics of Scania today. Massive shout out again to Oscar for this one. Simply superb, my friend. Otherwise, let's thank you all so much for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.